I can't upload this. This is absolutely horrible. Good grief. Like this video right here is just so incohesive as it sits in my computer. That's why I'm here to kind of give you guys a better understanding of what's going on today. And when I mean today, this video is like from 2 weeks old. This is recorded a couple days after the Super Bowl, which I think was in the beginning of February, and now we're closing in on the end of February. So, it's a good video. I need to release the video. It's just, I'm going to make sense of it for you guys. To start off the day, I had a phone call with a CEO of a local company. So throughout my degree, I've learned two main languages. Well, you know this. You have a computer science degree. So I've learned two main languages, Java and C++. But lately, I've been doing on my own a lot of iOS development, and then in my courses, I've done web development. I'm doing Android development, and last semester I actually had an artificial intelligence course where I worked a lot with Java and Python. Oh, I'm definitely open to that. I would really appreciate it, actually. Alright, I hope everything goes well with that client you mentioned. Okay, you too. Bye. Well, that went well. And for the record, that was a reenactment, in case any of you could tell. I didn't want to violate the privacy of a personal phone call by putting it online, so I just simply reenacted it. No harm, no foul. And as you may know, it's not every day that you get a phone call from a founder or CEO of any sort of company. So let me give you a bit of backstory. So as many of you know, I had a co-op internship, whatever you want to call it, at Norfolk Southern. I was there for about 2 semesters, and during that tenure I worked very closely with a few different people, and one of those people recommended me to the CEO of this company, knowing I love software development, that's what I want to get into, and that I'm finishing up my computer science degree. And keep in mind, I got along with basically everybody I worked with in this company, so they knew I would be a good fit in another company. If you go into an internship, co-op, job, school, whatever it may be, you don't get along with all these people, or at least you don't try to get along with all these people, you're not going to get these types of recommendations. So relationships in the workplace are very important, because if I didn't get along with these people, then I would never have been recommended to the CEO of this company. And then if I would have never gotten recommended to the CEO of this company, he never would have friended me on LinkedIn, messaged me on LinkedIn, and then exchanged phone numbers so we could, have this talk that we just had. And as you saw, it was a very basic talk where kind of talked about my schooling, where my expertise lies, I'm graduating in May, and things of that nature. Just like a get to know you type of phone call. And actually, since I'm about 2 weeks in the future of that phone call, we've talked a bit more back and forth, and he offered me an internship with the company up until I graduate in May. But I did turn down that internship offer, and he understands why, because I need to focus on my schooling. And then I also turned down an internship offer from Dominion Enterprises. And since I mentioned that, I guess it's only right for me to kind of tell you guys how that came about. So basically, I applied to a software development position at that company in hopes to kind of lock a job down so I have a job coming out of graduation in May. Because that's kind of how it goes. A lot of people already have jobs locked down, where in May they essentially have a guaranteed job. I currently do not. I'm not too worried about it, but might as well get the ball rolling. They saw my application, they called me up, we communicated a bit, they offered me essentially an internship, or at least the ability to go through the interview process for official reasons in order to get that internship. But they also understand that I have a heavy course load. I want to focus on school, so I graduate in May, and my grades are not complete crap, because when I had a full course load and a full workload back, I've had that like 2 different semesters, my grades really suffered. And since this semester's course load is a lot heavier than past semesters' course loads, it really wouldn't make sense for me to pick up a job, whether it's part-time or full-time, considering how difficult it was in the past. But now it's time to take you back to that day. So after the phone call, well, I'll let past Forrest tell you, here's the rest of my day. I have class in 30 minutes. After that, I need to finish up a project proposal presentation for tomorrow's class. We're trying to pitch our Android app in my Android development class to my, class and the teacher mainly. So today, my group and I are working on that proposal in order to convince the teacher to let us go through with this app idea. Oh my goodness, how naive past Forrest was. You guys will see later in this video what I'm talking about. It was It was bad, but I'm sorry for interrupting. I'll let you get back to the video. Oh, poor guy. And in that same class, we have small assignments alongside this big project that we have going on. One of which is due very soon, and I need to get it done today and or tomorrow because this weekend I'm going on my bachelor party. We're going snowboarding. But yeah, let's get on with the day. And in case you forgot, getting on with the day starts off with class. And to be more specific, online class. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this next segment is me taking you guys through one of my online lectures because I know so many of you guys are computer science students or want to be computer science students, and this is kind of an understanding of how online lectures are brought to you using WebEx. I figured I would mention that because I know not everybody's interested in computer science. Something I've noticed about myself is that when it comes to actually doing something, whether it's going to class, online, or in person, or actually coding, whenever I'm recording, there's always like half or at least part of my mind that is just focused on this, and I really need to make sure all of my attention is focused on coding or class. So that's why, instead of recording the live video, I'm going to give you the basic gist of how this online course actually works. So as you can see on the computer, this is the basic gist of the class. This is a recording of last class, and we have our instructor up top right here. He's always in the window so you can see him unless he cuts it off of himself. And then you have another screen either showing what he's writing down, which that's what's on the screen right now, or it shows a screen, whether it's code or requirements or presentations. That's the idea. There are people in class asking him questions. And then on the live WebEx, this is WebEx after all, there is a chat box right here with all the online students who can talk in if they have a mic or chat in otherwise. It's not the best example because now in hindsight, I see that the recording isn't exactly the same as being in it live because like I said, we have the chat box over here, his face is right over here, and then the screen of whatever he's doing on the computer or writing down is right in the center. But that's the basic gist of it. And as you can see, we have video archives of all of the classes, so if you can't make it, you can do it whenever you want. That's the beauty of online classes. I figured you guys could use that knowledge considering so many of you are or plan to be computer science students. And now we're back to the future. So this next segment is, I'm completely throwing it by the wayside. I'm going to repeat essentially what I said in the video in more cohesive terms because you could literally see, well, watch. Sorry guys, I'm just brainstorming here. You're seeing the gears churning, the wood burning, probably smoke coming out of my ears. I'm trying to figure this out. So instead of y'all sitting there watching me racking my brain, I'm going to kind of put it in more cohesive terms. I've been requested time and time again, more so on this day than any other day, to create a community Slack channel. So anybody who's on my YouTube channel will come over and we can talk about whatever. My thoughts were, if you know how Slack works, I'll create a workspace, and then within that workspace, there are different channels. You can have access to all of the channels unless I make some of them private for some reason. But the public channels, computer science, iOS development, Android development. A lot of people have been asking me about math within computer science, not specific problems, but kind of like, how do you go about doing this, or did you struggle? Because in all honesty, it's helpful to know that other people are struggling in the same areas that you're struggling, to know that you're not alone. So I'll just be making channels within the workspace that relate to my YouTube channel. And I want to see how many of you guys would like this type of thing. I know other people have recommended Discord. I've always used Slack as more of like a workspace, and then Discord more as like a gaming platform or gaming communication platform rather. So I'm going to hold a poll. Know that my bias is Slack just for those reasons there. I'm going to hold a poll up here. I think, yeah, that's the right corner. Click the little eye, you'll see a poll. Slack, Discord, either, because many of you may not care whether it's Slack or Discord, but you want something like a community Slack or a community Discord, or neither. So some of y'all are like, nah, I won't use it. I mean, you can make it, whatever, but I'm not going to use it. Simple as that. Or maybe you may use it. So second, just before you say neither, consider that. You may end up wanting to use it. Uh-oh, my brain is churning again because I don't know if I want to include this in the video or not, but I think I should. I think I should because I was going to include it in that one. I just wasn't very cohesive in how I said it. But I know a lot of people, YouTubers and people like that, use Patreon. Patreon is essentially a platform for the community to support the creator. So if you've ever gone on somewhere like Twitch, they have it all built in, where if someone is streaming on Twitch, viewers of that Twitch stream can subscribe for $5 a month or donate to whatever they want because they get value and entertainment out of the Twitch streamer. So Patreon essentially serves as that middleman for the community, for the viewers to donate and help support creators because they believe in what they're doing and they want to help those creators. And in return, a lot of YouTubers will offer early access to videos or access to videos that don't live on their YouTube channel or access to something like a Slack community or I don't know, whatever other creative ways that creators can help out their community because their community is helping them. Does that make sense? So I just explained what Patreon was, but I don't know if I want to do Patreon. I think I just want to create like a free Slack channel for everybody to use, and then maybe sometime in the future I will set up a Patreon account and figure out what benefits Patreons can get. I may also include like a Patreon part up there in the poll. You know what? Forget that. I'm not going to include the Patreon up there. If you're interested in helping to support the channel, then I will just leave a comment or something like that. I'm sorry. This is what I wanted to avoid. From that video to this video is just having my brain churning because I wanted to be cohesive. But I hope that made sense. It probably didn't, but I'd do my best. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I haven't even mentioned this in the video yet. We absolutely blew through 5,000 subscribers. Like, y'all are amazing. And I know this sounds cheesy, but I like to give appreciation where appreciation is due. So I appreciate every single last one of you for subscribing to the channel, watching the videos. I'm glad we have this connection. And that Slack channel could extend that connection in order to help each other out even more. Because as much as you may learn from me or I may entertain you, your comments, I learn from those. I mean, those help me out immensely. So everything you're doing in this community, thank you. Thank you so much. Next stop is 10,000. I mean, I remember my first 100. And then I even made a video about my first 500 subscribers. And then it's just one of those milestones at 5,000. Wow. And then the next one is 10,000. So I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys and thank you so much for helping me achieve this milestone in my life and in my YouTube career. And I mean, this is just the beginning. I can't wait to see where this goes. What's even crazier than that is now, just about 2 weeks later, we're already at like 6,000 subscribers. Excuse me, 6,400 subscribers. I mean, y'all are absolutely amazing. But now it's time to go from something so positive, like me thanking all of y'all for supporting me in this channel, to something so negative to, well, take a look. What day is it? I swear, I have been working non-stop forever. That was me last night. I really felt a bit brain dead. All I wanted to do at that point was watch people play video games because I couldn't even play video games myself because I don't think my brain would follow what was going on the screen. And that's pretty sad. I mean, to put in perspective, I recorded this whole entire ending of this video last night after that little snippet that you saw. But I don't feel that that is efficient enough for this video because I felt like a mumbling idiot, to be honest with you. I mean, my brain wasn't flowing. Even now, I feel like my brain is still like rejuvenating from the past 2 days of minimal sleep and working all the time on everything that I need to get done. And as you know, there were two main projects in what I needed to get done. The first being a PowerPoint presentation for the project proposal, essentially our Android app idea for the entire semester for my Android application development course, whatever it's called. And then the other one was for the same course where I had to create an Android to-do list application. So that's really like my first ever Android application that I've created, because that really like Hello World application, I'm not going to count that. But let's just say the project proposal didn't really go as planned because I got assigned to a group of 4 students. And as you may have seen from one of my last videos, I went into class, I was bringing my journal into class with all my app ideas to see, kind of pitch it to my team to see if they would fit in the scope of what this course would entail and if everybody else wanted to do it. We ended up going with somebody else's app idea. So once I got the app idea, we got the ball rolling. I set up a Slack channel for us to communicate because that's easier to communicate, for me at least, than email. because emails can just kind of get lost. When it comes to Slack, you can have that on your phone or on your desktop, give you notifications. It's probably one of the best tools for a software developer to actually use. And I also got the ball rolling on the presentation. I created the first like 6 or 7 slides out of a 20 slide presentation. Keep in mind, if you divide 20 by 4, that is 5 slides a person. I already did like around 7 slides in this, so I essentially did my fair share, and I set up everything, which actually takes more time than people think. After setting up the Slack channel, I had to, set up everything in Google Drive, invite everybody. I had to find all of their emails, and then invite them to Google Slides so everybody can edit this PowerPoint presentation, because I figured we were all going to be working on it together. That's not really how things went. Once I uploaded the slides to the Google Drive and invited everybody via Google Docs, communication basically ended within the Slack channel with 2 people. Just cut dry. And I uploaded all of that, I think, the day I started recording this video, so essentially the day before it was due. We started a bit late, but I figured we can get it done. It wasn't that big of a project for 4 people to complete. But for one person, on the other hand, that's a different story. So once I had the 7 slides in, there was one other person that was kind of communicating after I uploaded the slides. He did like 3 slides on existing competition to our app idea, because that's something that we needed to include. We had a whole list of requirements laid out from our professor to include in this slide. And then we still had roughly half of the presentation to complete, maybe even more than half, because one of which entailed mock-ups that I wanted to create using Adobe XD, and I did. Here, actually some of them, and I'll get more into those when I describe the actual project, but I ended up finishing the rest of the PowerPoint presentation myself, so I had to allocate all of my time to that. I couldn't really use any of my time to work on the to-do list application or any of my other schoolwork that I had to get done. Of course not this video. That's why I'm waiting until after everything was due to finish up this video. But luckily, I essentially got everything done. We went up there. I presented all of the slides I completed. The other guy presented the 3 slides that he completed, and I figured at least my team would read up on the PowerPoint presentation to be familiar with it, because they're going to be standing up in front of the class with me. That's not the case. I tried to transfer over, because I didn't want to present all of the slides, because, that would kind of be obvious, that I kind of did all of the work, but I tried to, include somebody else so I wasn't presenting the whole entire time. He essentially froze up, kind of stumbled over his words, didn't really know what to say because he didn't read any of the slides. Like, at least like get familiar with the slides that you're about to present. But I'm really just venting at this point. I need to vent to you guys. Sometimes when you're in, you're in school, or even, I'm sure this happens in the workforce, teams don't always work too well together, or they don't work at all. Like, literally, the 2 of the members did 0 of the work, and one of the other members did 10% of the work. Is that 10%? Maybe 15% of the work. Meanwhile, I did 85 to 90% of the work. And I'm really not saying that to brag, because I wish I didn't have to say that. I wish I got a little bit more help when it came to this PowerPoint presentation, but I didn't, and that's that. So let's get into what this PowerPoint presentation, the app idea that this was proposing to the class and to the teacher. And to really preface this, I may not even be using this app idea for this semester, because this app idea is in the scope of this course, but maybe not for a team of 4. So what my teacher is doing is splitting us into 2 groups of 2. I'm hoping I get teamed up with the person who at least did 3 of the slides, the competition slides. And I think that's what I'm going to try to fight for, considering I don't want to be teamed up with somebody that doesn't do anything, obviously, or else I'd do it on my own. But what I'm trying to say, if I get teamed up with the person who had the app idea, because they had their initial app idea, although I'm the one that built on it and actually made it something that could fit into the scope of this semester, I don't care. They can have their app idea since they initially brought it to the table. If I don't get teamed up with them, which I don't really want to be, then I won't be completing the project within the semester. Me and my new partner will have to think of another app idea and just go with that one, which I'm perfectly fine with. It's really not that big of a deal. And as for the app idea, it is an application where you would sign in, log in to your user profile, and the main information stored on your user profile are pizza preferences. Yeah, it's kind of a silly idea. However, for the scope of this course, and everything that it entails, it makes sense. I'm not really looking for a $1 billion idea for this course. Something that you can put on the Play Store, that's cool. I think more so what I'll be building, especially since I won't have 100% of the rights to it for the course, will be just something simple that you can add to your portfolio. And that's what this is. So you'd have a user profile with your pizza preferences on it. And if you were hosting, let's say, a Super Bowl party, since that was just this past weekend, and you wanted to order pizza, you would create an event on this application and invite all of your friends. Maybe we can integrate something where you invite them on Facebook and you bring them into our application in order to say, if you care about what type of pizza I order, you need to come into this app and essentially create your pizza preferences. So it's not only for one event alone, your pizza preferences will be saved, like crust, pizza toppings, what pizza toppings go together, what pizza toppings you love, what you like, and what you absolutely hate and you won't eat at all. And that's what you would enter in, and you could use that for any amount of future events. And the real kicker of this application would be all the people who RSVP to your event within the application. We have the access to their pizza preferences, and we generate 3 pizza options based on the groups, the cumulative groups' pizza preferences. We don't want to include anything that anybody hates, and we're trying to correlate what everybody loves and what toppings will go well together. That's where the algorithm will come into play. And then a proposed feature, something that I think would be really cool, is if we had access to some sort of like Pizza Hut API where we can use the pizza orders that we generated within the application and open up a brand new order within the Pizza Hut application, and then you figure out all of your stuff and order it through Pizza Hut or Domino's or Papa John's or what have you. I mean, if this app, gets to a certain scale, imagining that we try to take it to the next level, if I'm a local restaurant or even a chain restaurant, I would want you to, want to have the ability to make an order on my application, because that means you're going to be making more money. I mean, you're going to have more people ordering pizza from your company because it's just easier. So I mean, why not? And sure, there's a little bit more to it, but that's a basic gist. Now onto the to-do list Android application that I had to build in 3 hours, mind you. Now, as far as the to-do list app is concerned, I'm going to be going over that in the next video. I'm going to be showing you guys the app, the features, the code. I believe the code is already uploaded to GitHub. So if you want to check out the app, go ahead over there, check it out. And don't forget to follow me on GitHub. Link is down in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube, especially if you want to see that first, to-do list Android application of mine. And until next time, guys, have a good one. Peace. Finally!